It is bigger than a book. It is bigger than a book. It is bigger than a book. This is something that I say all of the time because a book is so special. Not only is having your book something so life-changing, game-changing, dream-achieving, but what happens after you have a book is beyond what you can initially comprehend when you set out to write your book. When you write your book, for many of us, this is a dream come true. Okay, for many of us, when we write our book, we learn something about ourselves that we never would have figured out until we wrote this book. For some of us, when we write this book, we will heal more than we ever thought we could. For some of us, when we write this book, it is a signal to us that we can do difficult things. For some of us, writing a book is the thing that gives us the confidence to change our lives, to raise our ticket price, to make more decisions to help ourselves be the best version of ourselves possible. So I believe that it's bigger than a book. I believe that a book can, and I know it will change your life in so many ways. And a book, let's be honest here, a book is freaking awesome because there is so much meaning to it. All right, for you, maybe it's healing. For you, maybe it's to teach. For you, maybe it's finally time to be vulnerable and share your story. For you, maybe it's to make more money and to raise your prices and to sell the crap out of your coaching offer. Maybe it's to land your dream job speaking on stage with Oprah. Whatever it is, whatever your goal is with a book, whatever your dream is with a book, whatever your intention is of having a book, it's always bigger than just the book. Now, the coolest part about writing a book, let me make this very clear. The coolest part about writing your book is exactly this. It is your book. What does that mean? Well, when you self-publish, it means you have all the control, you have the decision-making, and you have the ability to do whatever the heck you want to do. Within reason, of course. But this is really awesome to recognize this. And so I thought it would be really helpful for you guys to share some of the ways that I've made it bigger than a book. I want to share some of the things that I've done over these years of writing my own 3 books. I want to share some of the ways that I've made it bigger than a book, some of the decisions that have happened during the process, some of them that have been after the process, some of them that have been based on launch strategies. And I'm just going to share some of these because I want you to understand that it's your book. It's bigger than just writing a book. It's about doing what makes you happy. It's about doing what makes your dreams come true. And it's about doing the things that will move your life forward in the direction you want to go. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is why I chose certain colors for my book. Now, when picking colors for your book cover or your brand, a lot of times people pick their favorite colors, and that's awesome. That's cool. But a lot of times people pick a color because it's their brand. Well, when I was writing my first book, I didn't have a brand. I didn't have an email list. I just used Instagram for fun. And so I literally spent a ton of time thinking, what colors should I make my first book? And I thought Laker colors would be cool to have a purple and gold book. That's my favorite team. I was working for the Lakers at the time. I was like, nah. I was like, should I make it USC colors? I'm a USC graduate. I was like, nah. And then I was like, what do I want to do for my colors? And I thought of one of my really good friends who had passed away my first week of college. His name was David Stroud, and David's favorite color was neon green. And immediately I had this thought and I said, yep, that's it. So my first book, Elevate Beyond, became black, neon green, and white. Those became the colors, with neon green being primary, which led to my brand being neon green for many years. And so that's the first book, colors, meaning it's bigger than a book. In my second book, I have what's called Kelf keys. So the second thing I want to talk about is, why did I name my chapters Kelf keys? You might be like wondering, what are you talking about? Well, in your book, you're going to have different chapters. And instead of me saying it was chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, etc., I started calling them Kelf keys. Kelf key 1, Kelf key 2, and there are 25 of them in my second book. And the reason that I named them Kelf keys was, one, it was something that I thought would be a fun way to connect with my audience and to have the audience like not be bored by chapter. right? Because sometimes people are reading because they want to have entertainment and they want to be educated. And sometimes chapter is very professional. And I'm not really the most professional person in the sense of I like to be casual, I like to be fun, I like to be free flowing. And so I was like, screw that. I'm not doing what everyone else does. I'm calling them Kelf Keys. So my chapters were Kelf Keys. And what was really cool about that was I thought it would be more fun, but the amount of people that have reached out being like, hey, Kelf Key number 16 was my favorite, or I love that you did Kelf Keys. I totally remember that. And so your name is something that I always remember. And that has helped a lot of introductions. That's helped a lot of people keep coming back because they remember my name rather than just, oh, I chapter 2 on XYZ. You know, no one really remembers that stuff. And I thought the name chapter was kind of boring. So I was like, let's spice it up. Let's have a little fun here. The other thing that was in my second book was I had to figure out, like people ask me, why did you do 25 Kelf Keys, right? Like why 25? Well, 25, and I mentioned my friend David, his favorite number was 25. And so when I was trying to figure out and trying to pick what I wanted to do for my chapters, I was like, you know what? Let's do 25. 25 has meaning to me. And this is more important than having 20 chapters or whatever. I don't need that. I want meaning behind this. So it's bigger than a book. And that's exactly why my second book has 25 chapters, aka 25 Kelf Keys. And so that's really, really fun thing. The next thing is why I did 39 entrepreneurs in my interview book, The Elevated Entrepreneur, instead of just making it around about 40. Well, I did 39 because 39 is more memorable than 40. 39 is gonna turn your head. It's not even, it kind of stands out. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do that. The other reason I did 39 was I was trying to figure out how many people to have, and it just so happened that I wanted to have some type of unique number, not an even like 40, or I didn't want a 30, or I didn't want 35 in this one. I wanted some type of unique number, and by the time I had done all my outreach, by the time I had gotten all the responses, and when my deadline came up, I was like, you know what? We're going with 39. Boom, there it is, right? It's bigger than a book. Another one example is, why did I do an interview book? Why didn't I just write my third book like my other two in the guide how-to style? Well, because I wanted to. I wanted to have an interview book. I wanted to do something crazy to build my network. I've been inspired by Tools of Titans and Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss, and I really wanted to grow my network in the online space. So what did I decide to do? I said, you know what? What is something that not a lot of people are going to do? Not a lot of people are going to write an entire book so that they can get in touch with really high level people. I said, well, I'll do it. So that's why I did an interview book. I wanted to grow my network. I wanted to meet a lot of people. I wanted to get connected with the top people in the world. And that got me connected to some really amazing people. Pat Flynn, John Lee Dumas, Brandon Cohen, a friend of mine who sold Liquid IV. All right, there's so many amazing entrepreneurs and people in this world. And because I was willing to write this book and do something different, I was able to connect with people at a rapid speed. It's bigger than a book. Something when it comes to strategy of book marketing, people are always wondering like, why I gift so many copies of my books for free. Now, besides getting into a whole marketing strategy and everything that I'll talk about, I give my books for free because I love having that impact on somebody. I know that people, when I give them my books, they appreciate that. And I also know that if they like the book, they're going to read it and then they're going to tell a friend and so on and so forth. And it's going to spread the word about me and my work. But I give books away for free because I know how good it feels to receive a book or to receive a gift. And so I want to give somebody that feeling to show them that they're seen, they're heard, they're appreciated. I want to give somebody that break. Maybe they've been having a tough time and this book gift is something that just makes their day. When you have a book, you can do whatever you want. And so that is why it's bigger than a book. But also, little side note, I love giving my books for free, especially to ideal clients, ideal prospects. One of the best strategies you can to get a positive ROI, okay? And we'll talk about that a lot more, but basically you can gift books, you get them so cheap, you use media mail, you gift them away, and then you eventually sign a client, and when your prices are fairly high, there is a huge opportunity for ROI. The last example that I'm gonna share with you today on that is bigger than a book is, I mentioned Taco Bell, all right, my favorite fast food chain. I recommend Taco Bell in my book, and I talk about Taco Bell and my favorite food being the cheese gordita crunch. Now, this was pre-gluten-free and pre-dairy-free, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, as I mentioned Taco Bell in my book, and why would I do that in a career development book? Well, one, career development is pretty dry for the most part. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to spice it up. I'm giving my spin on it. And the second reason I did it was because that's me. I love Taco Bell. And the amount of times that people have reached out and said, oh, Jake, like Taco Bell, or it's come up in interviews and it's been a point of connection between people. That has always been so fun and so exciting. So it's bigger than a book. Whatever your reason is for writing a book, there's something beyond just a book. All right, whether it's a message, whether it's to teach, whether it's to heal, whether it's to be vulnerable, whether it's to make money, whether it's to make impact, whether it's to get paid speaking gigs, whether it's to get booked on stage or podcast, it's always bigger than a book. All right, it's bigger than a book. There's meaning behind the book, and it's up to you to share that gift with the world. It's up to you to step into that version of yourself so that you can write the book you were meant to write, to build the business you were meant to build, to live the life that you were destined to live. All right, that's what I got for you today. I'm sweating over here because I'm so excited about this episode. And I hope that you take this to heart. I hope this hits home with you and that you really enjoy it. And look, if you want to see me put this in action in real life, I'm actually going to be writing my next book in real time in less than 90 days. I'm going to show you exactly what I do every single day. So if you want to see how I make them bigger than a book and how I add fun little things throughout my book to make it more exciting for me, but also to make sure that I'm achieving my desired goals with my books, then go to bigidea2bestseller.com, bigidea2bestseller.com/90 days, 90 days, bigidea2bestseller.com/90 days. And you'll be able to get access to watch me or to write your book with me as I go ahead and do this and take on a 90-day challenge to write and launch my next book in real time, where I will be showing you exactly what I'm doing every single day because I want you to make this book dream your reality. All right, I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. See you later. Peace.